All right, well, the clock has rolled over to 9:30, so it is time to start our break tonight. Some of you may have noticed I went live a little early tonight. That's because there were some unsold teams available. That will be the case going forward most of the time. If there are unsold teams, I'll go live a little early and offer those teams up for sale, although we won't start the backup recording until the break actually starts, so you don't have to, if you watch the uploaded version later, you don't have to sit through 10 minutes of that or however long it may be. Tonight, we are opening a half case of 2017 Topps Update. This is the regular hobby, not the jumbo. And it is break number 7. And basically, that's because we've opened Topps Update as jumbos before tonight. But anyway, we're just keeping it consistent. We're going to call it Topps Update number 7 because it is the 7th time we've broken update in some configuration. Our eBay end date was tonight, the 17th of December. Our live stream schedule also tonight, the 17th, starting at 9:30 Eastern. You'll see team names on the left, winning bidders across from it on the right-hand side. Lots of teams in here designated as no bids buyback. Those are, of course, orphan teams. No one picked them up in the chat window either when they were available prior to the start of the break. So those, anything comes out for them, they're going to hang out here with me. Otherwise, whatever comes out for you, I figure is probably going to ship out either Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on how long it takes me to get everything else out. There are a few other breaks in front of this one that have to go out first. And oops, sorry, I just dropped the little knife there, utility knife. So this is a brand new case that I'm opening right now. And oftentimes with a new case, we'll take all the boxes out and number them on the end, and then let random.org decide which ones we open in any given time. But because there's no technical case hit in this box, I'm not really going to worry about that. We're just going to take 6 out of there, which is what I just did here, and we're going to open those 6. And the other reason I don't want to do that, I don't really want to number them on the end this time. Oh, I forgot to do something first. Because I don't know that I'm going to break the other half of this case. I may just sell them as sealed boxes. First, let me fix the camera back, because every time you touch the cord, it moves the camera. But secondly, you're going to see the background go out of focus on this. That is intentional. That's because I don't like all the zooming in and out. And I do like to be able to look at the cards up close in relation to where the camera is, so I change the focus when we get started every time. So there's lots and lots and lots of base in here. You guys know how this works. And there will also be one hit, either an autograph or a relic in each box. So one hit and lots of base. And of course, you know, the worst part of all of it is just the delayed gratification, because it takes so long to get the packs open. It takes a very long time. There's 350 cards in each box, because it's 10 cards a pack. Did I say 350? There's 360, I believe, right? Because there's 36 packs in here, and there's 10 cards a pack. I don't know if I said 350 or 360 a while ago, but it should be 360, I believe. And basically, guys, because there is so much base, we are going to kind of cut a path through this. We'll be going through this at a pretty good clip. We may also find a few inserts and things as well. And when we do, we can take a little better look at them. Like there is one of our rookie inserts for Bradley Zimmer. There'll be some of those we'll run across. And we'll find a few that have this sort of kind of an olive green color. Those are all going to be numbered to 2017. You're probably familiar with the fact that Topps, I know those are upside down, that Topps does that every year. So like the 2016 ones are all numbered to 2016. The 2018s will be numbered to 2018, etc. It's another one of our inserts, all Rookie Cup. And there'll be a bunch of those that we'll find throughout. And it's always just going to be a reprint of a rookie card of somebody. And so we'll see a handful of those as we go along. Well, I guess we may as well just... That is the one frustrating thing, the million different ways they have the cards going in any given moment. That is to 2017 as well. And I tell you what, guys, we're probably just, unless it's something really spectacular as they go through, if they're upside down, I'm probably going to just leave them upside down unless someone objects. And if you do, just jump in a chat, let me know, and I'll be happy to flip them all for you. Untouchables insert, we'll find those as well. But otherwise, as a general rule, if it's just because there are so many base and things, I don't see the need to flip them all, unless you guys just want to. There's Ender Inciarte for the Braves. That's one of the foil inserts. And Coming to America, this has actually got two different teams on it. And we'll probably end up having to deal with this in random. We're going to set it off to the side because it is an insert with the kind of negative is what I call that insert. I don't know technically if that's the right thing or not. Rediscover Topps, we'll find a bunch of these too. These are literally cards that were printed in another year. Topps buys them back and puts a little stamp on them. That one has a silver colored stamp. I do know that the color of the stamp is part of the chase, but I don't know exactly how rare each one is. 30th anniversary insert, and once again we'll find a fair number of those as we go along as well. And if you cannot see chat, if you're watching live and you don't see chat, I think it's because you have to be logged in, so just be aware of that. If you want to see it and you haven't, or you can't, I should say, just log into YouTube and then it should show up. Is it all? No, it's not. I was going to, you know, some of these, it's just the top card going in the opposite direction. So then you think you've got it going right, and no, you don't, because it's the top card. And the others, it's the whole deck. But I'm kind of trying to figure out how these are landing in here so that we don't have to constantly be looking at them upside down or constantly flipping them. And that's the top two going the other way. Of course, I expect for the most part you guys are more interested in the hits and the inserts anyway, but we still like it to go as smoothly as possible. I've only opened the jumbos of this in breaks up until tonight. I don't normally buy Update or Series 1 or Series 2 in just the straight hobby or wax, whichever you prefer to call it, but I did this year because, of course, we had Bellinger and some other awfully good rookies, but Bellinger's the main one we're hoping to find in here. Although it's possible to find a little Aaron Judge as well, but Bellinger is the more likely of the two in this particular product. Wow, there is a checklist buyback with Rediscover Topps in kind of a copper color. You don't find the checklist buyback too often. This is another dual team, and I'm going to also set that aside. We normally find enough of those that each of the teams will get one, or usually more than one, but I will set it aside, and then that way we'll be able to look back through it. That's 2017. And if we find that we don't have enough for each team, then it will go off into random. That's one of the All-Star, or one of the Rookie Cup reprints. Oh, Rookie Cup, I guess is what I'm trying to get out, and not doing a very good job with it. Whoops, we have a foil card hiding out there. Carlos Beltran. Another Untouchables insert. Of course, you know what's coming out this week, Bowman's Best. For anybody who didn't happen to see it go up earlier, I'm hoping to do a break of that on Wednesday night, on release night, just as a random team break. But so far, of course, it's not totally unusual for it not to sell out ahead of time, so hopefully it will sell out on Wednesday. We'll be able to break it on Wednesday, and if it doesn't, then we'll have to wait until the spots sell out on that one before it breaks, but that's the intention. There'll also be a regular break of it like you're accustomed to on eBay, which will be bidding on individual teams as opposed to random teams. If you're interested in participating in the random team break on Wednesday, you can let me know tonight in chat before we wrap up the break, or there's a nice little Benintendi insert, or you can always send me a message on eBay and let me know. Be happy to get you hooked up with that. And of course, the prices on those, the random team that are sold outside of eBay, they always include postage and everything. They're all in. And it can be a nice way to pick up the Yankees and some of the more expensive teams at a very reasonable cost if you get lucky enough to end up with them. And that's another buyback, Rediscover Topps. Here's our hit in this box, and it is Corey Seager, numbered 250 with the All-Star Game stitches. Once again, I know we're going through the base here at a decent little clip, and if you want me to go slower, just let me know. Christian Arroyo to 2017 for the Giants. And ditto if it bugs you that we're looking at some of them upside down. But honestly, just the flipping back and forth, I don't like handling them those extra times if we don't have to. Wade Davis foil card for the Cubbies. Untouchables insert. Nice little Mike Trout 30th anniversary. And you see, of course, that periodically there's another buyback, Rediscover Topps on that one. Looks like a kind of a copper color stamp. So periodically you see me picking up those cards back there in the back that we've already looked at, and I move them off to the right. They still stay on a mat because I have a mat off to the right as well that I use for sorting. So they're not going anywhere unsafe. I just don't like those stacks to be really big back there. It just bugs me. It makes me nervous. I'm always afraid they're going to fall over or something's going to fall into them or whatever. So I move them. Adam, the random Bowman's Best is 37 a team. And that includes everything. We're going to go ahead and move over this Coming to America. It's another 2-team card. That's the shipping and, you know, the whole shebang. That's all in, all done. Do you mean, Freeman, do you mean Benintendis of any sort? Like base or insert or anything? Or just inserts or... literally every time we see a Benintendi anything? Because I got to be honest, half the time I don't pay attention to who's on a base card, but I can. I just need to know exactly what we're calling out. Ben Revere to 2017 for the Angels, and a foil card for the Yankees with the Bettenses. Another Rediscover Topps, that one's silver. Okay, so just looking for calling out that is a short print on the Alex Bregman for the Astros. All right, so any Andrew Benintendi's that I see that are inserts, I will let you know. We saw one earlier. I'm pretty sure we saw one earlier, but I also think I mentioned it when we saw it. I think I did. Is that, I think, isn't that a short, I think that's a short print Ian Happ as well for the Cubs. You'd think as many times as I've looked at these, I'd have all the short prints memorized, but I don't. That, again, is a buyback, a Rediscover Topps with kind of the copper color. That's just a Benintendi rookie that went by. There's one of our hosts. We'll have to set that aside because that will probably end up going into random as well. I'm going to judge paper rookie. Of course, you guys know most of our rookies have different photos. So you'll have 2 or 3 different of Aaron Judge, 2 or 3 different of Bellinger, all of our top-end rookies. There's an Andrew Benintendi 30th anniversary parallel. So, Adam, I take it you are not then interested in the Bowman's Best random team? Well, Manny Machado insert. He's up on the blocks. Well, I don't know. They keep saying he is. They say he's kind of unofficially, I guess, being shopped, but also apparently they're trying to be super careful where they trade him so he doesn't get flipped and end up with the Yankees at some point in the near future. This is the second box we're working on right now. Adam, have you seen them, the random team breaks priced at less than that? Just out of curiosity. I mean, that to me is about a typical price based on what the case cost is and all the other factors you have to put in there. I would have assumed everybody would be in about that same range, 37, 38, but maybe not. Is that different than what you have been seeing other folks doing the random team for? There's Manny Machado on the 30th anniversary parallel. Well, right, of course, it's always going to be, there's always going to be a variation based on what you're opening because of the difference in case price. Because every case, of course, costs a different amount of money to acquire it. That's the 2017 on the Michael Brantley. I was just curious on Bowman's Best specifically if you had seen something that was a vast difference in price, since you weren't interested in this one. I was just curious if there was something I was missing on that. I normally try to be pretty competitive on pricing when doing the random team things. Yeah, I tell you, it's not a bad idea to buy a couple boxes of that for sure. I mean, there's 4 autographs per box, and it's got a loaded checklist. Nelson Cruz foil. At least in regard to our high-profile rookies, they're all over the checklist. That's kind of a gold color stamp, I think, on that one. Dan Ford for the Orioles. And, of course, keep in mind on all those Rediscover Topps buybacks cards, the vast majority of those are going to have issues of varying kinds. If they're older, they're almost certainly going to be off-center or poorly cut. And most of them are also going to have some wear on the edges and corners and things. And that's because they were literally in circulation and Topps bought them back somewhere along the way and slapped that little stamp on them and then put them in these packs. So. Oh yeah, it is. You can actually see the checklist now, Adam, if you go to Topps.com, and then when you get to the home page, I think it's under sports or sports cards or something like that. And when you click that, it'll give you a drop-down menu. And then on that drop-down menu, there's a base Benintendi rookie. At the bottom of that drop-down menu should be something that says checklists or trading card checklist or something similar to that. And from there, you can pull it up. It's already there. They generally put them up about a week ahead of time on the Topps website. But it's a pretty nice looking. Of course, I love Bowman. You guys know this about me, and I love Bowman's Best. And I always think it's a nice looking product, but I particularly like some of the design elements this year. And as I say, the checklist looked really strong to me, especially for the rookies. So I'm excited to get into it, see what we can find. Little Ian Desmond 30th anniversary that went by there. Joey Votto foil card for my Cincinnati Reds. Yay, Reds. Another Rediscover Topps, if I can get my hand back on it. That one's for the Pirates, and I would say that's kind of a copper color stamp on that one. Nelson Cruz, that'll be to 2017 for the Mariners. Another Coming to America. We'll set it aside. Make sure we have enough for each team to get what they should get on it. Pirates insert Starling Marte. Of course, one of the things I like about Bowman's Best, above and beyond the fact that it's usually a spectacular checklist, so I think you get a pretty good number of hits in the box for the money. You get 4 autos. So you're talking about in a case, 32 hits, and some of them are usually pretty high end. We opened some 16 Bowman's Best a few months back and found a nice Ichiro and I don't even remember who all, maybe Nolan Ryan. I mean, there were the Ichiro too. The Marlins had sold, I think, in that break for something crazy, like $6 or something. And the guy hits an Ichiro. I think it might have even been numbered. He was really happy. That I do remember. That is a short print on the Manny Margot. You can typically find some some nice stuff in Bowman's Best. Rediscover Topps in the copper color. Glove work, Jose Bautista. And then, of course, we also have more Bowman Draft to open. I'll get some more of that listed probably after the holiday. Greg Holland to 2017. And we've got Optic Football also coming out Wednesday. That's Emilio Pagan to 2017 for the Mariners. A buyback for the Pirates. Jim Bibby. That's a silver color stamp. And then we have Carlos Correa. Nice little all-star stitches hit there for the Astros. If I can get a sleeve to put that in. Nick, do I have your... Is your email address... Do I have it? I'm guessing I do, right? It's in the... It's on... Do you use the same... Do you use the same email address that you use for eBay? Is that the same one that you want to use for me to invoice you for the Bowman's Best spot? Or is there a different one that I should use? Adam Lind, foil card for the Nats. Oh, perfect. Okay. Jose Ramirez, 30th anniversary. Perfect. Then I will just, I will answer you in eBay messages later tonight or in the morning, one of the two, and I'll shoot you over a PayPal money request after I reply to your messages. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy how much stuff they put out like right before the holiday. You would think that maybe they would wait a little tiny bit and not put something out right before Christmas. But they don't. They just keep right on rolling that product out every single week. Both Topps and Panini pretty much. Which is pretty amazing considering that Topps consists mainly of baseball. At least with Panini, they're dealing with multiple sports. But of course, they did move back the date for Contenders football. Bautista for the Nationals to 2017. It was supposed to be Wednesday the 27th, and they moved it to that Friday, the 29th instead. Padres buyback, silver stamp. But even so, of course, that's coming right up on New Year's. I don't know. I just honestly think they should take a week or 10 days with no new products coming out at the holidays. But they don't think that way, obviously. You're too funny. Nick says everybody's drinking when their family's around, so everybody's ready to spend money. Yeah, I guess that's true. Giancarlo Stanton for the Marlins. That one is numbered 250, and it's, yeah, he is obviously gone to the Yankees, but for now, for this break on that card, he's a Marlin. Pat Rocket in kind of a copper color stamp on the buyback for the Braves. Another one of our hosts. Molina for the Cardinals with the foil card. I don't think I said the foil part, did I? Untouchables insert. Little Jordan Montgomery 30th anniversary. Yeah, I'm actually pretty excited about some of the stuff that's coming out here in the next couple weeks, even though I do wish that they had it in a slightly different time frame. Because, of course, I love Contenders football, too. I mean, who doesn't? Because it has some of the best-selling cards in there, and they're always fun to find in Contenders. And then, of course, my Bowman's Best that I love. There's not the basketball that I like. The best is Absolute, usually, and Gold Standard. But Gold Standard they're not making this year as a freestanding release. They're only putting it in Chronicles basketball. And then Absolute basketball comes out in January, I think. So that's probably my next favorite. Although, I don't know, I like Court Kings too, but probably not as much as Absolute. Gold Standard really was my favorite. And I'm bummed that it's not going to be made as a freestanding product for basketball this year. And in fact, that's one of the things that I liked about Chronicles Baseball, is that they did put Gold Standard in there and Spectra and Absolute and all that. I actually enjoyed opening Chronicles Baseball quite a bit, but it just didn't do very well for me. Maybe that's the time of year, or maybe it's just that nobody else likes the product as much as I do. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, what happened to the cat? Yeah, I still have that little kitten, Corey Kluber to 2017. I have a couple of cats that are brother and sister that were born outside. I had a bunch of stray and feral cats in the neighborhood. Rediscover Tops with the silver stamp for the Red Sox. Because I back up to a park, so I think people just like dump their animals there or something. Anyway, so I have a couple of cats already that came from the outdoors, and they're brother and sister, at least I assume they are. And so they get along fine. You know, they play, fight, and stuff, whatever, but they get along fine, those two. That's the 2017 Joey Votto. And then, what's it been now, Adam? It's probably been, you probably remember when I found that little kitten. It's probably been about 5 weeks ago or something by this point. Kenley Jansen foil card. And so I open the door to go out, and I hear this little meowing, this frantic little meowing like an injured cat or something. And it's this little tiny kitten, like 6-7 week old kitten. Lewis Brinson on the 30th anniversary for the Brewers. And so, of course, I managed to get the little cat in the house. Took me a day or so, but I got him in the house. And then I got him to the vet. He was sick. Spent a ton of money getting him well and getting him vaccinated and all that stuff. And now I'm trying to find a home for him, and I haven't yet. And he is typically pretty noisy. And you're right. He did make a lot of noise that one break. And he likes to chase the brother and sister, which, oh boy, that's a problem too. And they run from him, and they outweigh him. Like, they weigh 3 times what he weighs. And they're full-on adult cats. And he's this little bitty kitten. But they're afraid of him for some reason. So if he comes at them, they run. And then he thinks it's just even more of a game. So then he chases them, and oh, it has been quite something around here the last few weeks. But I think one of the nights when he was making so much noise during the break, he's got a little toy downstairs that has a ball in a kind of like a track, and you have to, he has to take his paw and hit the ball. You can't get the ball out of the track, but it'll move around in it and lights up and all this kind of stuff. And I think that's what he was playing with that night when he was so loud. But then there was another night he chased one of the other 2 cats, and I mean, there's been lots of times he's made noise recently. So I'm not sure which night you were on, Adam, but he's made noise a lot lately. So I think he must be asleep right now or something. Because I don't see him and I don't hear him. And he hasn't run by and gassed me either. He's a very gassy little cat. Yeah, me too, Adam. I hope I can find him a home. If I can't, I mean, I'll end up keeping him because I won't just turn him back outside, but I would rather find him a home. Hector Velasquez to 2017 for the Red Sox. But it's a hard time of year to do that. You know, everybody's got the holidays. Nobody wants to take on the responsibility of a new pet. Rediscover Topps in the blue stamp on that one for the Angels. I don't see the blue stamp as much, so I think it is not as common as the others, but I don't really keep up with which ones are the more rare necessarily in the Rediscover Topps, because you don't hardly ever find a really good one, you know? I mean, like, you find some okay ones occasionally, but it's usually just kind of players that you're like, eh. Another Rediscover Topps. That one's copper color for the Dodgers, and it feels like very flimsy. I think it's the word I'm looking for. Those old cards were just made so differently than the way today's are. There's Dallas Keuchel on the 30th anniversary. There's a little all-rookie cup Ryan Braun. And another one, that one, Evan Longoria. There's a Robbie Ray for the D-backs, numbered to 66. Oh, there went a little Dansby rookie, just a base rookie, but that Mike Trout might be a short print. I think it is. Let me see. Yeah, I believe it is. I'm pretty sure. Well, I cannot get the sleeve out of the package. Of course, you guys know the short prints in Update are just photo variations. And can you believe it's almost time for 2018 Series 1 to come out? I mean, it's like right around the corner. I feel like the time has just flown by since October. Chris Archer for the Rays in the foil insert. Yuli Gurriel, that is a short print. Pirates Rediscover Topps in the copper with the copper color stamp. Another Coming to America. There's a Benintendi just base rookie. Starlin Castro foil. Another one of our hosts, which we will send out via random at the end of the break. Chris Davis, 30th anniversary for the A's. We're making progress. It just takes a long time to do these. No matter how you do it, it takes a while. Once we finish this little stack that I'm getting out of the wrappers right now, that'll be our halfway point. Do any of you happen to watch on Netflix a show called Stranger Things? I've been hearing about it, of course, for a while. Everybody's been talking about it since it came out, and it was supposed to be so good and whatever, but I just really thought, man, I do not have time to watch one more show. I really don't. And I don't know, I got a wild hair this weekend, and I was working on something, and I thought, I'm just going to put that show on in the background, and I'll kind of half watch it and mostly listen to it while I'm getting some work done. And man, it's surprisingly good. It kind of reels you in before you realize that it's going to do that. Mike Trout glove work insert. So I was kind of pleasantly surprised. All Rookie Cup Joey Votto. I do love that about Netflix, though, that you can just binge watch it. All Rookie Cup Andrew McCutchen, as opposed to having to, wait for a new episode to come out every week. Well, I understand what you mean, Adam. I do kind of the same thing that you do. I mostly work and take care of family stuff and don't have much time for anything else. But I haven't broken as many things per night in the last week or so. So I was kind of getting caught up. That's Garcia for the All-Star Stitches. So it's kind of getting caught up a little bit, and I thought, well, as I said, I intended just to kind of listen to it and half watch it while I was working, and I ended up getting interested in it and probably watched it more than I listened to it, and as a result didn't get as much work done as I should have. But oh, Eric, you watch it? You like it? Cool. You're binging on, I don't know that one, Freeman. Haters Back Off. I don't know that show. That's, I'm assuming, Netflix as well. Oh, there's a little Stanton All-Star Rookie Cup. How about that? I say All-Star Rookie Cup. I meant All Rookie Cup. Of course, he is an All-Star, but I don't know why I said that. Pavetta and Pinto Rookie Combos. I don't remember seeing that card before, but I'm sure I have. That's to 2017, and it's for the Phillies. Oh, I don't know anything about Freeman. You're saying the cast of Stranger Things is bashing the president. I definitely didn't know that, but I also don't keep up with a lot of stuff like that. I don't read a lot of entertainment news and things like that. Drew Robinson to 2017 for the Rangers. And then, Adam, you're saying Hot Ones. I don't know Hot Ones either. Is that also Netflix? How do I not know all these Netflix shows? I guess I just haven't had time to have the television on very much. Corey Seager, 30th anniversary for the Dodgers. Oh, is that Johnny Bench a short print? I think it is. That's pretty cool, Cincy. Well, I think it's cool because you know how I love my Johnny Bench. Johnny Bench rocks. Danny Heap for the Mets, and that's kind of a copper color on that buyback. So that is our halfway point. We are making progress slowly but surely. I'll tell you some Netflix shows. Well, I haven't had time to watch them all, but when it first came out, I don't know if there's been more seasons since then, but it was one of the Marvel shows. Of course, I like Daredevil on there, but they made Daredevil, and then there's been such a big gap. I don't even know if a new season's come out. It doesn't seem like there's been one in a really long time. But Jessica Jones, I ended up really liking that. So, and hasn't been any more of that either, that I know of anyway. I think they put them all together in one big mashup of some sort, but I haven't tackled that yet. Plus, I know there's a couple of other Marvel series besides Daredevil and Jessica Jones, but I haven't watched them either. You were distracted by a squirrel. The second box, was that Correa? I think it was Carlos Correa in the second box. Oh, Eric, you didn't have that Johnny Bench? Well, I'm glad we hit that for you, man. And Hot Ones is a different celebrity each week trying to get through 10 of the hottest hot sauces known to man. Oh, that sounds interesting, actually. I bet that is kind of fun. I like hot stuff, but I can't do the really, really hot stuff. I think you have to have a cast iron stomach for some of that. But Nick, we'll also recap all the hits, of course, at the end of the break, too. But I'm pretty sure it was Correa was in the second one, because I think wasn't it Corey Seager in the first one, and then Correa in the second one, and Garcia in the third one, I think. Yeah, I agree, Adam. I'd like to have a big hit, too. I want to find something besides just All-Star Stitches. Although, you know, depending on who you get for the All-Star Stitches, sometimes those are okay to get, too. But they're usually not as interesting to me because there's not a lot of color variation. It's usually just a single color patch. And I like... Don't get me wrong, I like relics, and if it's a nice piece of cloth, I can get super stoked about it, but most of the All-Star Stitches are just kind of basic. So that's why I don't like them as well, personally, but... But everybody's got their own thing. I know plenty of people that would rather have a relic over an autograph most of the time. I just... don't always fall into that camp. I guess I should have switched that because that whole flipping pack's upside down. That was a throwback jersey, Mazzara. Mariners with a silver stamp on that Rediscover Tops. Untouchables. Mark, is that Leader? Well, one or the other. To 2017 for the Phillies. A 30th anniversary Cody Bellinger. Ah, you smell a Benny or a Harper? Well, I wouldn't mind that at all. I'd be happy to find either one of those for you guys. Or a nice little Aaron Judge or a Cody Bellinger, any of the above. I'm just spoiled from opening the jumbos, of course. I'm used to having more stuff. Chipper Jones All Rookie Cup. Although they don't exactly, you know, break the bank for what they put in those either. But again, it's all relative to the price point, so. Guess not everything can be Dynasty, right? Of course, Dynasty is not even the highest of the high end, but always pull nice stuff out of there. That is a copper color, Rediscover Tops. But outside of Bowman stuff, because I like prospecting so much, outside of the Bowman stuff, one of my big weaknesses is Gypsy Queen. I like Inception pretty well too, but it also depends on the configuration. Like this past year was very nice in that we had not only our rookies, but some of our high-profile regular guys too, like Mike Trout, etc. There's a Benintendi base rookie. Starlin Castro to 2017. But I'm definitely a Gypsy Queen junkie. I like that series. Twins, Chris Heston. Is that Amir Garrett yeah, I think the Amir Garrett's also a short print. I believe that it is. Another one of our little host guys. Yeah, I like the way that Topps does the jumbos for Bowman Chrome. Because it's just all hits and you don't have any base. I mean, they still charge plenty of money, but I'd rather do it that way. That is copper color Rediscover Topps on that buyback. So I think that's a nice option to have. Because that way, when you break Bowman Chrome in the wax, nice little Moncada foil for the White Sox, you can get all your base and do your set building with that. And then if you just want to pick up the hits, then boom, you roll over into the jumbo and nothing but the hits. So I like when they, a couple years ago they made that change. I like that. I would prefer that they do that with all the stuff that's heavy base card, but they don't really care what I would prefer. So we're going to have plenty of Coming to America and Emmas for mashing, so we'll be able to divvy those up with no problem. That's the 2017 for the D-backs. That's the 2017 for the Reds, the Ariel Hernandez. That is 250 for the Rays, Colby Rasmus. I'll get it out in a minute. Bradley Zimmer in the 30th anniversary for the Indians. Rediscover Topps for the Rangers with the gold color stamp. Alvarado and Pruitt, rookie combos to 2017 for the Tampa Bay Rays. I still say that Topps or Panini or one of them should make a case where they guarantee that every team will have at least one hit in the case. And by hit, I mean autograph or relic, not like, you know, numbered insert or something like that. Copper color Austin Kearns for the Reds on the buyback. Matt Waiters for the Nats, 30th anniversary parallel. A Rediscover Topps silver stamp for the Rockies. For the Angels, a little foil card with the Ben Revere. an all-star Stitches Nelson Cruz for the Mariners. So we're all relics so far. Emma's for mashing again. Is that Arenado short print? I bet it is. I think it is, with Bryce Harper. But of course, obviously, noted for the Rockies on there. The Arenado is the featured player. He's just chatting with Bryce Harper. But I figured I better clarify that once I said it. Ozuna, 30th anniversary. Of course, the Marlins. Poor Yelich, man. He's like the only one left for the Marlins. They've traded away everybody. That's got to just blow for him. He's got to be rebuilding, and all of their good pieces are gone. Well, I mean, he's still there, but you know what I mean. His teammates that were there, traded away and gone. I would not like that. I would not like to be stuck rebuilding. Of course, I guess they could still trade Yelich at some point. Just haven't yet. In general, I think it would be hard to be an athlete where, unless you're a superstar and on your second contract where you can put in a no-trade clause, if you can't do that and you're stuck kind of wherever they want to, whatever they want to do with you, I think that would have to be hard. Because what if they trade you to a city that you hate? Maybe you only like warm weather and they trade you somewhere that's freezing cold, or trade you to your arch rivals or something. I just don't think that'd be very much fun. But then again, they make more than enough money, I suppose, to make up for the inconvenience of having to move around. Suppose if I made that kind of money, maybe I wouldn't care either. You can hear one of the cats down there right now. It's not the kitten, though. It's the adult, one of the adults. So I think kitten's probably down there causing him some problems. Just a little Chris Bryant short print for the Cubbies. Buyback for the Brewers. That one is a copper color stamp. Oh, finally, we get an autograph. It's about time, right? For the A's, Franklin Barreto. And that is on card, looks like. Does not appear to be a sticker. Of course, next year's free agent class is going to be the crazy one. Seeing Clayton Kershaw go by reminded me of that. It's Kershaw and Machado and Bryce Harper. This is a nice Landry Benintendi short print. So I think next year's free agent drama will be quite entertaining. Chris Heston to 2017 for the Twins. Oh, I found my other Andrew Benintendi. Some of you, well, not all of you probably were in that break with me. It's a glove work, Ichiro insert, a Keuchel foil. So I was talking about, maybe a couple weeks ago, that I couldn't find one of my Andrew Benintendis. I had a couple of Benintendis from, I think it was 2015 Bowman's Best, actually, that I was going to send off to get graded with some other stuff, which I still haven't done because I keep, every day I think Panini's going to send me what I'm waiting on. I need to just give up on that because they're not going to. Josh Reddick to 2017. And so I could only find one of them. I could not find the other Benintendi. I looked everywhere for it. Rediscover Tops in the silver. Could not find it anywhere. Just assumed I had lost it or something. Coda Glover 30th anniversary. And don't you know, I found it the other day, quite by accident. The kitten, oddly enough, he did me a favor. He was in the office and he jumped up into like a little shelf type space that I have in my desk that I don't really have much of anything in there. So he decided to jump up in there, and I was trying to get him out of there just because in general I don't want him jumping in places. And as I was reaching in to get him out, I looked down and saw, oh, I had a stack of cards that I had at some point, I guess, been in the middle of and then set them off to the side. It's a little Joey Gallo 30th anniversary for the Rangers without ever finishing whatever I was working on. And in that little stack was my other Benintendi, so I was happy to find that. That's Copper Color Rediscover Tops Rangers Bobby Witt. So for all the trouble that little kitten has caused, Yonder Alonso 30th anniversary for the A's, he did actually do me a favor with that. That is a gold color Rediscover Top stamp on the Oakland A's team leaders card. Of course, little kitten doesn't mean to cause trouble. He's a little active fellow, and he just gets into things. About the same time he showed up, there was an adult cat showed up outside. I fed it. Some of the neighbors fed it. They fed it kind of all summer long, really. And I was kind of a mind to just let it live outside because it seemed to be doing okay. And then it turned up lame one day, about right around the time the kitten showed up, maybe a day or two before. So that one had to go to the vet too. My neighbor ended up giving it a home. But it was a couple $1,000s in vet bills for those two animals. It's kind of crazy that you have to pay more for the animals to go to the doctor than you do for people to go to the doctor. But it is not cheap. Alright, this is finishing up box 5 that we're flipping through right now. Whoops. Sal Romano to 2017 for the Reds. And Charged Up Battery for the Blue Jays to 2017. There's another Benintendi. That one is also a photo variation. So your Benintendi's doing all right in terms of your variations anyway. Aaron Judge, 30th anniversary parallel. If I can get the flipping... Oh, what is wrong with that sleeve? Let's just get a whole new one. There. I don't know what was wrong with that other one, but... Foil card for Josh Reddick for the Astros. Freddie Freeman, short print. This is a weird texture. This is to 99 on the Phillip Ervin for the Reds. And it's not exactly, it's not really flip stock because it's not, you know what I'm saying, slick on the back and not on the front. But it is definitely a different card stock. And of course it was numbered as well for the Reds. Was that a, let me take another look at that. Hang on one second. I guess that's just the regular Dansby, but for some reason it kind of stuck out to me for a second. I thought it might be a variation, but it's not. Padres foil. Strasburg with the all rookie cup. I guess he came out this weekend saying he wasn't going to, he didn't think he'd play in any more all-star games because he thinks that that's part of what changing up his routine caused him to have a problem. So I thought that was interesting. Giolito, 30th anniversary. Oh, vintage stock. Okay, yeah, I guess that's true. It does feel that. It did feel that way, so I could be about that. Yeah, that makes sense. Benintendi, base rookie. Greg Maddux, short print. Oh, you're hoarding Stanton rookie cards? Hey, maybe you know the answer to this then, Freeman. Why did he originally, why was he Mike Stanton then? That is the copper color. I mean, did somebody just tell him he should have a more American sounding name or what? I don't know. That's always been odd to me. So maybe you know the answer to it. Matt Chapman foil for the A's. Buyback silver stamp for the Phillies. David Dahl for the Rockies. That is a short print. The last year that Carlos Quinn played for the last team. Oh, no. But it should be on, if you go to MLB, you should be able to look it up, MLB.com. Carlos Correa to 2017 for the Astros. Last box. There is another half of this case. I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. So I'm not sure if I'm inclined to break it and lose more money like I did tonight. Or if I'm going to sell it as individual boxes, which is also a possibility. or I could use it as maybe some mixed product breaks, or I might just open it myself. I don't know. It has been a brutal time since ever since I got back from that trip and then had all those Time Warner internet issues. It has been brutal since then. I don't even break even on most things. In fact, most nights I lose several $100s a night. So it has been not pleasant in the last 45 days or so. Hopefully that's going to turn around before too long, because if it doesn't, I will have to stop doing this if it doesn't get some better, because man. And it's unusual. I mean, it's not unusual to sometimes lose money on something, but to lose that much on that many things is unusual. That's the 2017 on the White Sox. It is just everybody getting ready for the holidays and everything like that, I imagine. Kristen Yelich for the Marlins. '30th anniversary Bryce Harper for the Nats. Now that whole big chunk was upside down. A little Ian Happ foil for the Cubbies. I think that's such an odd picture that they chose for his card, because that just, it just looks odd, because he's running but his body's kind of contorted, and I think it makes him look like he's an old man. That is in the blue stamp for the Reds with the Juan Castro buyback. Like, if that were my card and I were Ian Happ, I would be so unhappy with that picture. Of course, there's another picture. It's not the only picture he has in this set, but I just wouldn't like that picture. I need some kind of like little wizard that just zips them out of the wrappers and stacks them up while we're doing other things. Wouldn't that be nice? It's like a little machine automating this part of it so that there was always a stack ready to go. I got to go out tomorrow and pick up a last few Christmas gifts. I am dreading it too, because I think it's going to be super crowded everywhere. I should have done it before now, but I didn't. Whoops, we got to take a look at Hunter Renfroe here, because he is numbered 266 for the Padres, and that's a little white, I thought maybe it was going to wipe off, but it didn't. So a little white speck down there, maybe a little surface mark on it where the black wasn't on the card. Ken Griffey Jr. All Rookie Cup. Santana for the Twins with the foil card. There is a Topps buyback rediscover in kind of a copper color. Santana to 2017. Zach Cozart. Still makes me sad to see Zach Cozart. I'm so bummed that he's left. I mean, you can't blame him. He wants to go somewhere where he can win, but it still bums me out. Ian Happ, 30th anniversary. Mike Piazza, short print for the Mets. I always think of Mike Piazza as a Dodger. Of course, obviously I know he was a Met too, but just every time I see him, my head automatically thinks Dodgers. I have to stop and reorganize before I spit it out. Bryce Harper, there's a little short print for the Nationals. Buyback for the A's with the copper color. That is to 2017 for the Royals with the Jason Vargas. I guess that's just the standard. Every once in a while, one will catch my eye that I think is a variation that isn't. Starlin Castro on the 30th anniversary. Rediscover Topps in silver. Cardinals, Willie McGee. All-Star Stitches, Justin Smoke for the Blue Jays. And I have to open another little pack of sleeves there. Ryan Braun walk-off insert. Daniel Robertson foil for the Rays. We're in the home stretch. We're getting there. Already see that those two are going different from everybody else. So we'll just fix that one right there. Well, I didn't quite get that wrapper off there very easily, did I? Know what happened? All right, this is the last of it. Of course, we will recap at the end. Jake Lamb 30th anniversary. And we've still got a few little housekeeping things to deal with as well. Cabrera for the Tigers in a short print. A little Hank Aaron short print for the Braves. my other favorite player. So I found both my favorite player short prints in this half case. So we pulled the Johnny Bench earlier, and there went Hank. Rediscover Topps in the gold color, Paul Gibson for the Tigers. Another one of our hosts cards, which we'll get taken care of momentarily after we finish up here. Vargas for the Royals in the foil. And Cordero and Cordoba rookie combos to 2017. And a Rediscover Topps for the White Sox, Mike Diaz with the silver stamp. All right, so this, of course, we have the two different teams on here. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so what will happen is 3 will go to the Red Sox, 3 will go to the Orioles. This extra one we'll throw down here with these Major League Baseball cards. Then Coming to America, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll split those 3 and 3. So half will go to the Astros, half will go to the Rangers. This we will random off between the two because that's an insert. So that's going to go to random by itself between the Rangers and the Astros. Then this little group of our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Major League hosts and our spare MS for mashing, those will also be given out via random, but that of course will be done amongst all the teams. So let's deal with this first, and I normally will go either left to right or top to bottom. Since that's kind of a left to right orientation, I'll type Rangers in first and the Astros in second. And because we only have 2 items in there, I will hit random 3 different times. The first 2 don't count. I gotta make sure I moved. Did I move you over here with me? Yes, good. Okay. I had to make sure about that. All right, so it's the third one that counts. So this first one you can ignore. The second one you can ignore. Here comes the third one. This one counts, and it is going to the Astros. So let's flip back here and look at this for a second. That is this insert right here, just awarded to the Astros via random. And of course, guys, that is in a sleeve. I'm sure most of you would know, or all of you would know. I'm not writing on your card, but just because there's always somebody who gets worried about things like that, I figure it's just better to show you. Next up, we're going to take, I'm going to cut and paste all of our teams into random, and because we have lots and lots of things here, I'm only going to hit random 1 single time. And whoever comes up on top will get all those Major League host cards as well as that spare MS for mashing, just because we had 7. It was just an odd number, so that's the way we're going to do it. So there you can see all of our teams are in there. We're going to hit random once, and that is headed to the Philadelphia Phillies. So that is this little group of cards right here going to the Phillies. All right. And these, of course, we've already gone through. Half to the Red Sox, half to the Orioles. This one is half to the Rangers, half to the Astros. That went to the Astros. These went to the Phillies. And then to recap, we had Justin Smoke for the Blue Jays. Keep in mind that I'm expecting this stuff to ship out to you either Tuesday or Wednesday. Just bear that in mind. Franklin Barreto for the A's. Autograph. Nelson Cruz for the Mariners. All-Star Stitches. Avisail Garcia for the White Sox. All-Star Stitches. Carlos Correa for the Astros, All-Star Stitches. And finally, Corey Seager, All-Star Stitches. And that one is number 250 for the Dodgers. And that's it for tonight. I thank everybody for participating. I always appreciate you guys bidding with me, breaking with me, keeping me company and chat and all that jazz. Tomorrow night, I think we've got the last of Elite Extra Edition, I think is tomorrow night. And I don't remember if there's anything else or not. But there's definitely something going on. So hopefully I will see you again tomorrow night on that. And if not, then for another break soon. And for now, I'm going to sign off and start working on sorting. So we'll see you again. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.